Hello, and welcome to the first video on the Practice Solution, which is part of the Digital Office. The Practice Solution does all the things like appointment book, scheduling, billing, electronic billing, inventory, statistics, and so on. In this first video, I'm going to go over the basics of the appointment book, including the appointment book, entering services and patients while the patient is there in the office. And then in later videos, I will go over things like billing, statistics, and so on. So in this video, I already have the appointment book part up and running inside the Practice Solution. Up at the top here, you're going to see the standard menus that you'll find in Windows. There's File, Edit, Tools, and these have certain things in them. You will very rarely ever need to use them, as we have found a much faster way to get the job done. In the next row, we have our toolbar. This has all the places you would go to normally, like the patient file. The next icon over is their claim. This button here is for like patient letters and things. This one brings up the appointment book, which is already up below. Services, payments, billing. This icon will pull up the Insurance Follow-Up Center, which is an extremely powerful and useful tool. This is the Messaging Center, which allows you to take care of and handle all your internal messaging. This is the registry, and the registry is for advanced users on how to really change the program to do a remarkable number of different things. The next one is for reports. This is for closing. This gets you a menu of all the different parts in the package in TPS, and you'll see there's just lots and lots and lots of different areas. This is a very large program, very powerful, but actually quite simple to use. This will add a record. This one deletes one. And then we give you a few tools like a calculator, and then here's cut and copy and paste. This pulls up the help system and manual, which is very extensive. This says whether the manual is going to be really computer animated or not. This will pull up the document solution directly from the program here and pull it up with the exact right patient. So if you need to see any files that they have stored in the document solution, you can go directly to it. These buttons here are called VCR buttons. They take you to the next record or the previous record, or they'll take you to the beginning or the end. And then this button right here, this will pull up a list or a search grid whenever you need to find anything. The Practice Solution, and in fact the entire Digital Office, is what is called flow sensitive. Now, flow sensitive is a unique concept in computer design, and we actually invented it. It's been copied by many, including Microsoft. But what flow sensitive is a program that mimics the natural flow of your office. So if things move through your office, patient comes in, gets their treatment, pays for their services, gets rescheduled, if that is the natural flow, then the program will follow that flow. It does other things along those lines as well. For example, if you want to see Ben Benedict's patient file, instead of having to go into the patient file and type his number in, all you have to do is click on his name on the appointment book, click on his patient file, and we're immediately into Ben Benedict's patient file. If you want to see his claim or insurance information, just click on the icon. It automatically pulls Ben Benedict's claim information. If I want to see the messages Ben Benedict has, all I do is come up and I click on Messages, and it pulls Ben Benedict's messages. You see, everything is all linked together so that the program can predict what you want to do next and who you're working on, so that you're not harassed by having to type the patient number in over and over and over and over again. The Practice Solution is also flow sensitive when it comes to saving. You'll notice I'm not pressing the Save key. Well, the Practice Solution is smart enough to know when you want to save and when you don't want to save, and can predict very accurately when that's the case. So instead of having to be pressing Save and tab, 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 and enter, 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 and all these different keys that waste your time, the Practice Solution bypasses all of that. At a recent seminar, I had someone come up and ask me, how do they tell the difference between these different packages? And, because there was 7, 8, 9 different packages at this seminar. And I said, well, good question. And I thought about it for a minute, and I said, go count clicks. Take the thing you do most often. starting with maybe you take your appointment book and you check them in and you enter services, you collect a payment, you reschedule them, you give them a receipt, you do that kind of a thing. And go count how many clicks it takes to get the job done, because you're going to be doing that 30, 40, 50, 100 times a day. And he went, oh, that's a great idea. I don't want to see yours now, but I'll come back. So he goes, and sure enough, the next day in the afternoon, he came back. He says, okay, I've been to all of them. He says the worst was somewhere between 34 and 37 clicks. The best one so far was at 22 clicks. He says, well, let me see yours now. So I went, all right, but you count the clicks. So I went through it, and he got done. He goes, that was 8. I go, right, that's what Flow Sensitive does. It's 2 to 3 times less computer user work to get the same job done, because the program is just smarter.